Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and this is of course going to be the only video you are ever going to need learn how to lay out your anime or manga eyes. So what I've done here is basically I've got a vertical line that I've done here in the center, and then I've kind of drew a rectangular shaped box. There isn't any specific measurements, guys, so you can just kind of eyesight it. It doesn't have to be perfect. These are just rough guidelines. So, and then I do two other vertical lines right alongside the center line. This is going to help me as far as laying out the eyes. In case you're wondering, guys, there's no certain specific way to lay out manga eyes or anime eyes. There are literally hundreds of different techniques you can use. This is a technique that I love to use, so I think you guys are gonna love it. So I'm gonna show it to you. So I kind of draw in these are kind of like a rhombus shape, where these vertical lines are slightly angled outwards. You want to draw those in first. And then we're going to start forming the eye itself. So we're going to start with the top eyelash area. We're going to keep it kind of wavy. Like you can see, it's kind of is high and then it goes lower as it comes off to the end. Yeah, same thing for the bottom. Going to draw on a nice curved line, like you can see. And then we're going to also indicate the tear duct. Feel free to do minor adjustments if need be, guys. It's you know, just to make sure you get it perfect or exactly the way you want it to. Then we're gonna start laying out the other eye as well, trying to keep it exactly the same as the other eye on the next side. The key is to try and get the two eyes to look as close as possible, the same as you can. So try and get the two eyes to look as pretty much exact as possible. You want them to match up very well. Like I say, if need be, you can do these adjustments. It's up to you. Just you want to make sure you get it right. And now we're going to start indicating the eyelash area. This is anime, so we're going to kind of do it nice and thick. We want to make it seem like this character has on a lot of makeup and mascara and stuff like that. So we're gonna keep everything nice and thick and bold. So same thing to the other side. We're gonna start thickening up the eyelash area. Just pay very close attention to trying to get both eyes to look as accurate as possible to each other. You want them to look, you don't want one eye to look bigger than the other or one eye smaller than the other. So make sure to pay close attention to that. Like I say, I want this character to have on a lot of mascara. You don't have to do yours this way. It's entirely up to you. So like I say, keep adjusting it. Try and get them to be exactly as you need them to be. Yeah, in case you're wondering, guys, there's many different ways you can draw manga and anime eyes. This is just one way, so you can feel free to use different techniques if need be. I leave it up to you. So far, guys, if you're enjoying the video, I would really appreciate it if you can show a little bit of support. Maybe subscribe to my channel. I do tutorials like this more often, so you can subscribe. It would help a lot too if you can drop a like on the video. And also, if you have any questions, you can always drop a comment down below and I will answer back to every comment, so feel free to do so. So right now we're just putting in the iris of the eye, which is the main outer shape of the eye. Try and get it as close to round as possible. You want it to, you know, kind of be as round as possible. And like I say, when you're doing the other eye, you want to make sure you pay close attention to the size and the placement of the eye, and as I can say, all the different areas, I should say, sorry. So just make sure you try and get them as close as possible. Nothing looks worse than if you have one eye looking different from the other. So like I say, just take your time. You don't have to rush it. Take your time. You have all the time in the world to do your adjustments and stuff. So just going in and thickening up and doing some adjustments here. Now, as far as the pupil, we're going to start doing in the pupils. Nice small pupils we're going to use for this style. Just pay close attention, guys. You got to make sure you get the two pupils as close as possible. You want to make sure they are the same size. Nothing looks worse than if you have one looking bigger than the other, so keep a good lookout for that. Kind of figuring out how I'm going to add in the highlights here, so still trying to come up with the method that I'll use. I think I might even change this later on, but for now I'll just leave it as is. Just simply, we're gonna just doing some hatching. We're gonna just add in some shades, some shadows into the eye. You can cross hatch it a little bit if you want, just to add a little more depth. You can do it quite dark as well, just leaving a nice lighted area to the bottom of the iris. That helps to add depth into the drawing. So, and following along, we do the same thing onto the other side. Just cross hatching in to add in some shadows. You can try and do them a little dark. You don't want to go too dark, so play with it. See what works best for you. Just adding a little touch-ups here. So just go around, do your little touch-ups wherever needed. Now we're gonna add in this, what I guess you call this the eyelid, which is the fold that's right above the eye. We're gonna start adding that in. Just a nice subtle curve, as you can see. You don't have to do it too dark. We're gonna do it on the other side as well. Like I say, everything you're doing on the other side, you want to match it up as close as possible, just to make sure everything looks nice and accurate. Then for the eyebrows, we're kind of going to draw in two long rectangular shapes, and then for the outer edge we're going to do like a triangular shape. Just try and pay close attention, try and do it exactly as I'm doing it, and then everything should be quite fine for you. Then we're going to do another rectangle on the other side, which is the same process as we did on the first side. Trying to get them to look as close as possible. You want them to look alike as much as you can. You can let them extend a little bit further past the edge of the eye. Just adding a little more depth to the eyelid, which is like the fold over the eye. Now, as for adding in details, it's just basically, we're just hatching, we're just adding in a bunch of long, slightly curved lines, just to fill in the eyebrow area. The lines doesn't have to be straight, guys. Actually, you get more realistic effect when you add curves. You kind of randomize it, so kind of do them random and keep them flowing within the same direction. That's also very important. Add a few stray hairs sticking out to the end here. You're going to thicken up the bottom edge just a little bit, just to make it stand out. And yeah, guys, it's that easy. The eyebrows are that easy. As you can see, I'm doing the other side in. Nice long lines, slightly curved lines. They can be curved in slightly different directions, but the important thing is to have all of the strands of hair flowing within the same direction. That makes sure it looks proper. You don't want it to look fake. So like I say, all of the strands of hair flowing within the same direction. Thickening up the bottom of the eyebrow like I've done on the other side. Guys, don't forget, if you enjoyed the video as well, show me some support. You can subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. If you have any questions, you can always comment down below, so feel free. Now with the glare on the eye, I think I'm going to change it. I want it to stand out a bit more, so I'm going to extend it straight out to the edge of the iris. And I kind of want it to stand out more, so I'm going to enlarge in that glare. It's all up to you guys. You can do any other shape. You know, the shapes, there are literally thousands of different shapes you can use. You can even do random shapes if need be. So, but I'm going to keep it a little simple just for this tutorial. Just doing a little touch-ups. Then I'm going to darken up the pupils a little bit more just to make them stand out. And then for the fold on top of the eye, I'm going to start adding in a little bit of shadow. And this is kind of add in a shadow there. This is going to make it seem like if she has on mascara or makeup, I should say. So just a light shadow there. You don't have to go dark with it. Paying close attention. Now, like I say, paying close attention. We're just doing a light shade here. We don't want it to be too dark or too intense. Keeping a nice, soft, subtle look. And then right where the lid is, up to the top area, where the round edge is, we're going to darken that right up against the line just a little bit. Just to bring it out a little bit more. You can mess around with it, guys. You don't have to do it exactly how I'm doing it. But this is my way of doing it, so I'm just going to show it to you. Do your little adjustments wherever necessary. Then we're going to just add a little separation down below for where we put the bottom lashes. We're going to put the bottom lashes, as you can see. Now we're going to start with the eyelashes itself. This is going to be pretty tricky. I know a lot of you have trouble with the eyelashes. You want to keep them curved. You don't want the eyelashes to be straight, or you don't want them too curved. You just want a soft curve on each lash. So just take your time. You don't want to do them too thick. But for this one, I am doing them long. I want it to look pretty, you know. So it's all up to you guys. You can do them closer together. It's all up to you. But just make sure you get them nice and curved. As you can see, I'm doing them with a nice subtle curve. Then for the bottom ones, you don't have to do them too thick. You can preferably do more, and then you can do them a bit shorter as well. So just replicating the same thing on the other side with the eyebrows. As you can see, focus and try and get that nice curve. You don't want to do them straight. If you do them straight, they're going to look fake. So just try and pay close attention to that as well. And as I'm getting to the bottom, you just want to make them a little smaller and shorter. You don't want them as long. So just deepening in a few of the shadowed areas a bit, so as you can see. And yeah, we are basically finished, guys. I'm just gonna do the last set of lashes on the other side. Like I say, short, not too long, and we are good to go. So that's basically it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If the video helped, drop a like, and for more future tutorials, subscribe to my channel. So we're just kind of, darkening up a few of the lines just to make them a little more bold, just to kind of finalize the finished results. And then one of the final steps is we're going to erase the guidelines. I could have erased these from earlier on. I didn't really have to leave these here, but I decided to.